Thank you for this opportunity, for this engagement, this day of your time. My name is Cece. I'm also present with Elon and the Sasani Collective during this channeling experience. In this particular transmission, we will be discussing the following topic: human forgiveness and how this is related to contact. So as you understand, we have been monitoring the collective in terms of where they are at and what they are doing in this time, where the world is consistently shifting, as your world is now going through major transformation. And through the devastating events that have taken place already, through times where many individuals had to scratch their heads and ask themselves what really matters the most to them in this experience, we want you to know that we notice that there is a particular pattern. And we notice that not many channels discuss this following topic either. It is really different when you look at it from the concept of how does this actually relate to contact. Well, before we get into how it relates to being prepared for contact, we are going to talk about forgiveness. When you understand that each and every single one of you are a shard or a fragment of all that is, when you realize the connection between who you really are, and when we mean not your ego, your personality, what brought you into this physical world, as your body and your mind is that of a vessel, we are meaning your soul, your higher self. That being stated, when things do occur, they are learning opportunities. They are patterns for growth. And when you are in a place of non-forgiveness, then you are vibrating at the same frequency as how or what took place. So when we discuss this, we are meaning really from a collective basis. Many of you are quite angry at the information that has been being withheld of different ET visits, of different disclosure events that haven't fully taken place yet. And many of you are holding on to that in terms of resentment against your political figures. Now, we understand that you have your own personal opinion and feelings in reference to the situation, and you are entitled to that. But we are reminding you that to be in a place of forgiveness is going to be in a place of love. And when you are in a vibrational state of love, then you are attracting what is in vibrational alignment. And our civilization and many other civilizations that are wanting to make this contact with your race are vibrating at that love. They are vibrating at that vibrational alignment to love. And if you are vibrating in fear, if you are vibrating in anger and resentment, then you are creating what is called that vibrational gap. And so it's not to say that we haven't attempted to make contact, because we have in many different occasions over the course of your history. But it's really about where you, the one listening to this transmission right now, where are you at in terms of forgiveness? Have you forgiven yourself first and foremost? Have you forgiven those around you? Have you forgiven your political figures, your medical figures, things, places, and people that are within power? But truly, the one that is actually in power is yourself. And when you really take hold of that wheel and you start to make changes, and when we are referring to this, we are meaning micro adjustments with the perception, with the mind. When you start to make these changes, forgiveness comes a little bit easier. So when we are referring to these micro adjustments, we are meaning the way you are perceiving certain events that take place or that have taken place in the course of your life. Instead of saying to yourself that you are a victim, or saying to yourself, they did this or they did that, instead of focusing that energetic attention, because that is what's taking up all of the space and creating what we are calling dis-ease on your planet, Now is the time to make those micro adjustments and say to yourself, even if it is just saying, I know that took place. There must be a higher reason. There must be a purpose behind this experience. I don't know what it is, but I'm releasing the hold of anger. I'm releasing the hold of the need to control the situation. And I'm allowing the universe to guide me, or I'm allowing my higher self to guide me to my next steps. It could be as simple as this, depending on where you're at, or you may reframe what actually took place. For example, disclosure, as we have referred to. Many people are quite angry at the fact that the information is not being disclosed, that information is being withheld, is being hidden from your collective. Instead of being angry at this, you can say, well, it doesn't matter whether or not I have concrete proof evidence. I know they exist because I can feel it in my body. And that's all that matters. And when the time is right, the information will be exposed. And so when you do this, you're letting go of that reign of blame. You're letting go of being a victim, and you're stepping more into empowerment. You are now saying, this happened, but you know what? I'm going to let it go, because all the while, when you keep your attention on something, you're only going to continue to create the same vibration based on your perception. But when you switch your perception to a different frequency, now you are allowing there to be more room for growth, and you're allowing there to be room for forgiveness. And there are many tools that you can use depending on your belief system, depending on what you choose in your life to be in alignment with. You may do different techniques for forgiveness. We are going to give you one permission slip that you may use if you wish. It is a writing permission slip. Now, you may take a blank sheet of paper, or you may do this on your electronic device. Begin to write out individuals or events that you feel you have not given yourself an opportunity to forgive. And you may begin with yourself, because no matter what you may think, or no matter what the collective thinks or believes to be true, you always start, if you have any resentment, you're always starting with yourself. And whether you realize it or not, you still have to make amends with that. Make amends with yourself, whether it is just choosing to be in this physical reality, having this physical experience right now during the most major transformation in this collective, in this point of evolution, whether it is just simply that, or if you are holding on to things that you do feel you may be victimized against, now is the time to really start to forgive yourself and forgive those that may be involved in that event. And by forgiving, you really are not saying that you are at fault. You are simply letting go of any fault. And you are allowing the love that is there on the highest perspective to be present in all of the situations in which you have experienced anything other than happiness, joy, peace, and love. So these are very important points, and how they are related, as we have already mentioned this, but we are going to talk about this once again. How this is related to contact is because, again, if you are at the lower vibration of fear, anger, hatred, or anything for that matter, now, or not even self-empowerment, if you are not being self-empowered, you are not in a vibrational alignment with love. And when you are truly in alignment with the vibration of love, this is how the contact experience will take place. And yes, your collective will get to that point. As far as when, we do not have that answer currently at this time. But do not focus on the time necessarily. Focus on your journey, a point of evolution. We have now started to make more videos and more information for you all to take in, so you may make the appropriate changes in your life to be in a vibrational alignment with your true self, your absolute self. And that is the highest version of you, which is your direct connection to source energy, which is who you are, the most prevalent vibration of love. So when you are not vibrating at that frequency, it isn't that you are not vibrating at that frequency, because you are always vibrating at that frequency. It is that you are now creating other loops that are moving you away from your focus to physically feel the love. Instead, it's moving you into other vibrations and having other side experiences. But when you bring your attention back to the focus of love and you are in a place of forgiveness as one step towards this, now you are bringing yourself back into alignment. It is like you have pieces like this out, and these pieces are having their own experience, vibrationally speaking. But then you have the full essence of who you are, which is love. But when you start to make steps and changes from your perceptions, from your actions that you take place, the words you speak are very important in this role. Now you are bringing yourself back into your center, back into who you really are, because that is essentially the steps in preparing for contact. If you would like to make one step right now, we would advise to really consider this transmission, really talk to yourself, really feel into where you are not forgiving. And through this experience, through this awareness, you will now have the opportunity to perceive love in a much deeper way, in a much pure fashion. Because now you are going to be at that vibrational alignment with love. And you will see in due time, when you do practice this, you will start to notice shifts in your physical reality as well. You may have the capability to see more shifts. You may have a certain awareness that you didn't have before. You may experience more joy, more love, more passion. You may be in alignment with your desires and understanding where your excitements lie, so your higher self can continue to guide you to who you really are, following the formula, following the complete kit. This is all encompassing of being in alignment. So the first step is to be in alignment, be in the vibration of love, experience human forgiveness for what it means for you. We thank you for this opportunity to allow us to express ourselves in this way. We send our unconditional love.